Hello, Dreamcast lovers. Welcome to Casting Dreams, the only podcast about the Dreamcast. Probably not, but hey, I don't care. I'm Jonathan Eaton.
And I am Patrick Anderson.
Patrick.
Yes.
It's 1999.
Okay.
And it's September 9th. And the Dreamcast has just come out.
Yes.
What's like the first game you're fucking playing?
Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, that's right. Sonic Adventure. Probably the best-selling Dreamcast game of all time. The first Sonic game since the Sega Genesis. Is that right? Wait, no, that can't be right. Saturn. Since the Saturn. Yeah. Right. Yeah. There was no Sonic. There was no Sonic game on the Sega CD. But yeah, Sonic Adventure released. Actually, this says December '98 in Japan and September '99 in the US.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they had it. Again, it wasn't a launch game for Japan, but they did have it for quite a while before we did, which makes sense because I do remember playing the living shit out of Sonic Adventure demos at EB Games, Electronic Boutique.
Yeah.
Because they had that level, they had the Dreamcast, kiosk, and you could play Sonic Adventure, and they had that level that was like the first level with the whale, with like the orca.
Yeah.
Where you're like running away from the camera, and I remember just thinking like, holy shit, it looks so real.
The whale looks fucking real.
Look at him go. I've never seen Sonic running towards the camera before. Speaking of which, though, I have some fun Sonic facts. Again, we are not experts, but we are lovers. It was the first 3D Sonic game. Everything up to that point had been 2D. This is the very first 3D Sonic game. So after Sonic and Knuckles came out, which I guess was the last Sonic game before this one, the Sega Technical Institute, STI, which that's a bad abbreviation now that I said it out loud.
It's changed. Yeah, that's cool.
It's what it's referred to online, but I'm just going to go ahead and say the Sega Technical Institute. So after Sonic and Knuckles, Sega Technical Institute in America, they began developing the first ever 3D Sonic game, which was going to be called Sonic X-treme for the Saturn. Sonic Team, the Japanese counterpart, and they're the games that were making that created Sonic in the first place. Sonic Team in Japan made the game Nights into Dreams for Sega Saturn, which I remember being a huge thing. I remember playing that.
Yeah, love that game.
Which, has there ever, have they done another Nights game?
There was a Nights game for the Wii, which was for the most part, it was a brand new game. It wasn't like they just rebooted it. Like, I know they rebooted the original Nights on PS3, Xbox 360, but yeah, they did do one for the Wii, and I have it. Can I say it was great? No. Did I beat it? No. But hey, it was still cool that obviously that IP was, I think better than what they expected, because again, not a lot of people had Saturns, but if people knew that, they played Nights.
And considering Sega stopped making consoles like 20 years ago and has only been making software, like, why won't they make another Nights game? It's been so long. That was like the Saturn game, right? Kinda.
Yeah. To me and to a lot of people, that was. I mean, the other series I loved was the Panzer Dragoon series, and they tried to make a game for the Xbox One. Or at least the people part of the Andromeda group tried to create one, at least with dragons, type of game. Yeah. But it failed miserably. So, but I would love them to remake. They remake the first Panzer Dragoon. So if they make the second and Saga, that would be awesome. I'd love it.
I never played those either, but I do know that you were a big fan. And
yeah,
don't you have a copy of something that's worth like a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's only like $1,000 or $1,100, but yeah. So if you want to break into my house, come downstairs and
sure. Okay.
okay. Yeah, it's right there.
It's right there. Sega Technical Institute. What did I say? Sonic Team made Knights. After Knights came out, Sonic Team started working on Sonic Adventure for the Saturn, but then they ended up redeveloping for the Dreamcast instead. And the Sonic Extreme game that was being developed by Sega Technical Institute never materialized. So actually my information is that there was no like original Sonic game for the Saturn. Maybe that's what I should have said, because I guess they probably ported stuff over.
Yeah, because I think the Sonic Blast, I think is what it's called on the Saturn.
Okay.
I think they were both available on the Genesis and the Saturn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
so it probably came out on the Genesis first, but then like there wasn't any. It's like a Nintendo releasing without an original Mario game. Like that, it's kind of crazy to think.
Yeah.
That they could that would happen. But I guess, Saturn was kind of a dud, and and Dreamcast would also end up being like a dud in I guess their eyes. In financial terms, it was a dud. But the interesting thing about Sonic Adventure is that it was being developed. So they started developing it for the Saturn, and then ended up retooling it for the Dreamcast. And they were actually developing the game at the same time that they were developing the console itself. And the development of Sonic Adventure actually influenced how they designed and built like the insides, the technical design of the Dreamcast. I think one of the things was that Sonic Team requested from Sega to like make have more RAM in there specifically for so that they could run Sonic Adventure. So all the characters for all the Sonic characters had to be redesigned for Sonic Adventure. Taking 2D characters into 3D, which I guess was the first time that they had redesigned any of the characters since the inception of Sonic. And so that gave this is my favorite note, I think, that I took. It gave the artists that were redesigning the characters license to make them more quote unquote urban, which was the style at the time. Which,
wow.
Yeah, and it's not I mean, it's not untrue. When you play the game, you're like, oh yeah, like you're definitely doing a thing. Like,
yeah, that's true. The more I think about it, yeah.
Interesting. And I feel like they did that. That's literally what they were doing. With the Sonic characters, is like, I feel like what Simpsons would make fun of sometimes, with someone trying to be hip, and they would just like put their baseball hat on backwards, be like, "Yo, what's up?"
I've got such attitude.
Except it was genuine with Sonic.
Yes, that's true.
So they also, in making Sonic Adventure, they wanted to make it more. They wanted to include more RPG elements, with a much bigger focus on story and with more playable characters, which is why we get. Oh my god, I think it's a total of 7 playable characters in that game. It's crazy. We'll get into it for sure.
Yeah.
But like it's too many. And they're not all good.
No, they're not.
Yeah. This is also a fun note, or a fun piece of trivia, I guess. So Dr. Robotnik's, you might know this already, but I didn't. This is new information for me. Dr. Robotnik's Japanese name is Dr. Eggman. So I guess whatever name they have for him in Japan translates to Dr. Eggman. Which is why Sonic calls him Eggman through Sonic Adventure. And I don't know about you, but I remember playing this game and knowing his name is Dr. Robotnik, and then it's like the first scene with him. Sonic is like, "Oh, hey, Eggman." And you're like,
what? You're right. No, that's like when you're in that, enemy or scenario 0 or whatever in the city, the cops try to shoot it. Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Hey, Eggman.
Hey, Eggman. And I was like, Is it because he's round? And I guess so, but also it's so... It came out of left field, and it's not like it was a one-off thing. It was like the entire game. They're like, Eggman took the Chaos Emeralds. Like, why?
Oh no, Fat Fuck took the Chaos Emerald.
Oh no, pear-shaped Dr. Asshole took the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sonic Team. This is also crazy to do for. This is crazy to me to do for a video game in like 1999. Members of Sonic Team visited Cancun, Guatemala, and Peru for inspiration for this game, which again makes a lot of sense when you've played the game. But
sure.
I was just like, I'm just trying to think of the person who was like, all right, we got to make the next Sonic game. You know the fast blue hedgehog who collects gold rings. You know what I'm super into is like old temples, like old jungle temples.
We could just watch National Geographic on TV, or hey, let's go there.
What if we just went to Peru?
Nowadays, it's like, we don't really have that in our budget. So
oh my god, I know. Can you imagine that someone trying to make a fucking Sonic game and be like, you know what I'd really like to go to? Like Iceland. Can I just go to Iceland for inspiration? I want there to be Vikings in it.
I'm just gonna sit on my deck and just go, Sonic could run there. I think this was a good trip. Thanks a lot.
Hang on, let me take a panorama. Let me think about it. Let me really think about it. Okay, yeah, that would be cool.
Right? Am I right? Cool. Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
The hub worlds of Sonic Adventure, because each there's levels, but you get to the levels by basically just like running around a hub world. Those were inspired by Legend of Zelda, which I think is interesting. And then my last little bit of trivia for this game is that this is a really great segue to our first little bit of AV show and tell for today. The music was, quote, hot, funky, and rock and roll. Hot, funky,
hot, fresh,
right off the griddle, and urban.
Sure.
Okay, so now that we know how Sonic Adventure was made, not really, but now that we know a little bit of the thought that went into how Sonic Adventure was made, and that question I asked you at the top of the show, it's September 9th, 1999. What are you doing? You're sitting down to play Sonic Adventure. And when you pop the disc in, this is what happens.
Oh. Cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I just, yeah.
CG's not bad for 99, I think.
No.
I feel like they must have spent a lot of money on these cutscenes, the CG cutscenes.
Yeah, right. I mean, because it looks good. I mean, it really does.
Yeah. Well, and it's so funny too. Also, like, there's a lot of water, and like the main bad guy is basically a water bad guy. And another thing was like they chose to make the main bad guy a water bad guy to show off graphics. Like, here, we couldn't do this before, but now we can. Like, check out all these water physics. Okay, but really, I want to talk about the music.
Just open your heart, Jonathan.
Open your heart. It's it's shockingly like rock and roll.
Yeah,
like really
totally.
Um, it's just so like shredding those guitars.
Well, I mean, should we let the audience know? I mean, we did do a music video for this, and it was I mean, what, you were on acoustic because you could hear the acoustics in this song. Yeah,
this is one of those things where I'm not easily embarrassed. And Becca, my wife, often says, like, you don't have any shame. Like, what is it like to have no shame? Like, almost like a how dare you,
Becca.
And I'm like, cards on the table. Like, this is who I am. But that music video we made for the Sonic Adventure song "Open Your Heart" is one of those things that, like, I will not show people.
I just remember how you're like, dude, this song is too long. You know how long it took to edit this?
Oh
this
my
is going way too
God.
long.
I can tell you exactly how long that song is because that was that was another thing I had. I have the whole song to listen to, which we're not going to do that. I will put it in the background of this podcast. But it is oh my God. I want you to guess how long that theme song is.
7 minutes 38 seconds.
It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds, but that's that's too long. Yeah, so we made when I was in high school, me and Patrick made a bunch of short movies, and for one of the short movies, I don't know why I wanted to do it. I was like, let's do a music video for that Sonic Adventure song in the backyard at night. And it's you and me and my brother Anthony, and I'm on an acoustic guitar. Are you on an electric bass?
Yeah, yeah.
You're on an electric bass, and my brother has one single drum, and there's no amp anywhere, and I think Anthony's wearing like a backwards baseball. It is truly one of the cringiest things that I can think of that I've ever done.
I don't think I haven't watched it in years. I don't know if it's it's just something we watch drunk, Jonathan. Maybe when we get together, I'd watch it drunk.
That's the only way I'm gonna watch it, because I could pull it up right now and we could watch it, and I'm not gonna, because like
we're not gonna do it on the show.
I need to be fucked up to watch that thing again, and like, and this is coming from the two of us. Whenever we are together, we will just sit down and watch all of our shit, like stone cold, like stone faced. Just like, yeah, this is great. I love it. It's amazing. We're so talented.
What do you do? We work for corporate. It's cool.
We got corporate jobs.
Far. We got far.
Okay, so let's talk about since I mentioned that there's RPG elements and they wanted to focus more on story. The story of Sonic Adventure.
Yes.
Because, like, I never really, like, all the other previous Sonic games, I'm sure they do have a story, but it's always just like, run right. Real fast.
There's Eggman.
And then,
to the right.
And then, there's Eggman. Jump on him. Get those animals. Run to the right. Run some more. So Sonic Adventure has a story. Do you know what it is?
Get all the Chaos Emeralds so Dr. Robotnik doesn't rule the world.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He's trying to get him. He's trying to get him, and so you're trying to get him. Yeah. And keep him away from him. There's 7 Chaos Emeralds. And each time Dr. Robotnik gets a Chaos Emerald, he throws it into a puddle of water that is sentient. And then it turns into the bad guy is Chaos, and and he keeps getting bigger and bigger each time. And along the way, you run into your friends. Let's see, we've got Tails, Knuckles. Those are two returning ones. Amy, I think, is also a returning character, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then there is Big the cat and Ed something. I can't remember his name. That's how little I give a shit. I could look up his name right now, and I'm not doing it because
not worth it.
There's. I think that's it, right? For playable characters, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And each of them has like their own story. You know what it is? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Resident Evil 6.
Okay. See, and this is why we're such good buds.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first thing I thought of was which campaign are you going to pick? Are you going to pick Leon and what's her name? Or, this? I'm like, oh my God. This is too much. I don't want to fly a plane and then be chased by this. And then, too much.
There's so much going on. And the really crazy thing with Sonic Adventure, and mind you, I ate this shit up 20-ish, 22 years ago, 25 years ago. Oh, fuck, I forgot. That's why we're doing it this year. You play through the whole game as Sonic. And then to get the true ending, you have to play through not the whole game, but you have to play through every other character's campaign, and they do get shorter and shorter. But boy, is that a lot to ask of someone to just see the fucking ending of a game, a Sonic game.
Did you do it? Because I will admit, I did not do it.
Not only did I do it, I still have that save active. So I did go back through and play. I didn't play the whole game, but I did load up every character and play one of their levels.
Wow.
So let's talk about Sonic. Let's talk about Sonic first, and then we'll just go down the line of like best to worst characters to play as, which is basically them in order.
Yeah. So I want to start with this. Now, again, as you mentioned, it's been a long time since this came out, and I think what was so amazing and fascinating was the sense of speed. The different, like when you went through a loop, it looked like, well, this is so much better than 2D. Like I can actually get like the depth. I can feel.
The camera kind of like pans out.
Yeah, and then of course, I don't know if you did this. When I played it again, I'm like, how much of this is auto played? Can I stop it in mid loop? And you can.
And you can. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, controls a little off, not there. Hard to run in a straight line, but maybe that's because Sonic. That's how a hedgehog runs. It can't run in a straight line and get the rings that are
also
just in front of you.
Or am I just old?
My fingers hurt.
My fingers did hurt, man. Holy shit. Just gripping this disc. Hard to run in a straight line.
Sonic's drunk.
I'm just like, I would run right past the rings, and I'm like, come on, put your hand out or something.
No, I mean that's why. Like, what's the range of you can? So that's, but yeah, after a while you do get kind of used to. Okay, you try to be forgiving. There might be some deaths that just happen.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. But I'm still the thing that I loved about it so much was just the different when you did find a level, and because some of them, obviously were hidden. It's like you had to either unlock something or achieve something. Like as the variation. So the first level, then you could look at just trying to get to the very top.
Yeah.
The storm, the casino.
The storm level is very cool, where you're like in a tornado.
Yeah.
Well, the first level was super cool with the whale. I know I talked about the whale before, but there's a moment in the first level where you're on like a beach, and like you zoom through a loop-de-loop and like off a jump, and then you fly like down and like land on a boardwalk or like a floating dock. And then the camera switches to in front of you, and then you're running to the camera, and this orca is just like destroying the dock right behind you. And it was awesome. Like that was one of the coolest things I saw in a video game at the time. Like, holy shit, And yeah, it was really fast. It felt very, very fast. It still does, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, it was, and I think that, I don't know if we want to get to favorite levels or what,
Sure.
but I still love the level where you run down the side of a building.
Oh yeah.
That, because I'm totally, for everybody, I'm totally freaked out by heights, and especially in video games. If I feel like I'm really freaking high off the ground, I get that weird stomach crunch feeling, like I'm gonna, I don't know, hurl whatever. That level though, I mean, yes, the depth was crazy, but it was just so much fun. I love the way it looked. That was probably my favorite. Do you have a favorite?
I feel like for some reason the one that's coming to mind, and I didn't play it, and I feel like if I did, I probably wouldn't like it because it was very platformy. But it was like one of the temple levels where you're like in, because it's very like Indiana Jonesy. There was a lot of like dodging like fire and all that kind of stuff. I just thought it was like really large scale, like really cool.
Yeah,
and the music was pretty great too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of them were pretty memorable. Like, well, obviously, Open Your Heart.
Open Your Heart, obviously.
But yeah, but there were some other ones that if I would say if I heard it at a grocery store or if I heard it somebody else playing, I'd be like, I've heard that before. What's that from? Like,
I actually used a couple, at least one track from Sonic Adventure because I had the soundtrack. Probably just for Open Your Heart, because I was like, I gotta get that song. I did have the soundtrack, and I did put at least one of those songs in, I think it was my like my thesis, basically, but like my college movie, my graduating college movie, where which you were in, Thanks a Latte.
Thanks a Latte, yeah.
And it's about a guy working his last shift at a coffee shop. But the beginning of the movie is a training video. And this is really, really a lot of who I am as a person. I made a training video, like a joke training video. And then when I was putting the movie together, I was like, oh my God, this is so long. This is way too long. So I cut it down. So there's like 2% of what I made is like in my short film. But then the actual training video, I kept because I thought it was really funny. And I used Sonic Adventure music because it felt like the kind of upbeat corporate, like stock music that you would get, but just a little like silly at the same time. And it worked so well.
I remember that too. And yes, when you think about it, it's like you could use this soundtrack and pretty much, I mean, there was definitely a song you could put in virtually anything if you really need just kind of background music. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you have the soundtrack because now I know I can go to somebody if I need the soundtrack.
Oh, I do still have it. Yeah. When I say I had it, I mean I do have it currently. It is digitized, I'm pretty sure. I have the Sonic Adventure soundtrack. I have Resident Evil 1, 2, Code Veronica. I have those soundtracks. And what else? I know I have another. Oh, Samba de Amigo. We'll get to that. Space Channel 5. Both of those I have the soundtracks too.
Excellent soundtrack.
And I think Space Channel 5 is actually on Spotify now, which is fucking awesome. At least Mexican Flyer is.
Awesome.
But yeah. I do one thing I did. Okay, so I want to talk about something that I in replaying Sonic Adventure. The thing I hated the absolute most is the camera.
Please
it's like a proto 3D game camera. They're like, the camera can go anywhere. We don't have control over it.
But it can go anywhere.
It's gonna do what it wants. It can go anywhere. Sometimes it does.
Sure does. Yeah.
Oh man, and it really, like, when you were talking about like accidental deaths, it was fucking every single time I died was like 99 times out of 100 it was because the camera was somewhere it shouldn't be. And it would be like, whoop, fuck, where'd I go? Oh, I'm down there. I hate the camera, and like, ooh, I want to move it and you can with the trigger buttons, but like the trigger buttons just rotate the camera around Sonic, and it's not the same as a modern game where like one stick is the camera, one stick is the character, and you like once you do that enough, your thumbs remember like they want to do that. So when I'm playing Sonic Adventure, I'm just like, why can't I move this camera anywhere?
Well, and this is the thing too I don't understand is, so obviously the Nintendo 64 was out at this time.
Yeah.
Mario 64.
Yeah.
For a game that was that revolutionary in 3D, the camera, and I won't say it's perfect, but it really did do a really good job of giving you that. So why is it harder for... I mean, come on. We work in a world we rip people off. I mean, just go rip them off.
Yeah. I wonder if it was the speed, honestly, because it literally did sometimes feel like the camera was not keeping up with Sonic. And then there were a few times where like somehow I would miss those little speed boost things because they would be like right in the center of the track, and I would like gutterball it and like go right around them, and then the camera would pull out and I'd be like, look guys, I know I'm supposed to be going super fast and doing cool shit right now, but like I'm just down there at the bottom. Can you zoom back in for a second so I can retrace my steps, and then I'll hit it, and then I'll do a sick ass loop and spiral up that tornado, and it'll be great. But so many times I was just like, okay, let me go back. Okay, let me
cut.
Yeah,
Let's
cut.
go back.
Yeah, let's cut. Okay.
Let's
I'm just gonna kill myself so I can restart.
And yes, that's what I usually end up doing. And you hear him, no. I'm like, sorry, dude, but I can't see what I'm doing. No. Yeah, so it was great.
I also like so there's really only like two buttons. You run, and then like one of the buttons jumps. And here's a thing I do like a lot gameplay wise, and this is another thing I was reading about the development of the game, was in the original Sonic games, the 2D, you go right like we were joking, and then you would jump on enemies. It's your classic Mario way of playing a game. So in a 3D space though, they found it was harder to precision jump on enemies, so they added the ability to basically like you would press the jump button to jump in the air, and you would press it again, and he would home in on and do like a little ball attack and like bounce off and like hit an enemy that way and bounce off of them. And it's not really like, it's still not easy. Like even with it homing, it's not easy, but I do appreciate that it's there.
And that's kind of it's just I'm sorry, I don't even know how to phrase this, but yeah, it's like, it's that kind of design, which I know for myself, I'm more of a retro gamer than, I mean, yes, I have a PS5, I have all the new stuff, but the more simplistic the controls are, or the least, that game, I felt like when I was hitting something, or because there could be those percents that doesn't work, but for the most part, it's like you just got kind of in a rhythm, and that just felt good. Like that was like cool. I don't have to okay, L1 or L2 or R1, R2 triangle. Wait, fuck. I mean, because I'm getting older, I just sometimes I'm like, this is too hard. So that was one thing I really did love about Sonic Adventure, was just the like you said,
like the simplicity of control. Dude, sometimes if I like, here's a great example. I started playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I don't know, about a month or so ago. Whenever it came out, we got Dragon's Dogma 2. Just heard it was a fun game. Didn't have anything else to play. I started playing it, and I do like it. It's not like the greatest thing in the world for me, but it's like a thing to play. And it's pretty nice looking. And then I stepped away from it to play a bunch of other shit. I don't know. I watched Fallout on Amazon, and I was like, now I want to play Fallout. So I've just been playing I played all of New Vegas, and then I'm playing like Fallout 4 for the 1000th time, which is whatever. It's fine. I went back to play Dragon's Dogma 2, and I was like, I don't know how to play this fucking game at all. I don't remember what anything does. I don't know what any single button does. And it's like, which is the attack, and then the strong attack, and then the special attack. What's the button that you have to hold down to then do? And then like, what do I have mapped to these buttons? Like, what attacks do I have mapped? Where was I in leveling up? It's just crazy. Like,
yeah,
you cannot pick like those kinds of games. You can't put them down for more than like a week and then remember how to play them.
And so yeah, that's why I'm playing more. Obviously Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, TurboGrafx 16, Super Nintendo, like, because it's like, okay, the limitations is in the buttons, and when I leave, because since we work and it could be a week till you get back to that game, so it's like, okay, jump, attack, perfect.
Jump, attack. Oh, right, left, right. Okay.
I go this way.
I will say, okay. And again, it's not that many buttons to remember because it's a PS1 game. But I did. We talked about this before, but I recently replayed Resident Evil 1996. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna remember how to play it. Holy shit! I remembered exactly how to play that game. Like, that came back to me, like, it was crazy. It was really weird how much that came back to me. But yeah, okay. So Sonic also has a thing where the jump button, I'm trying to remember, jump, or what was the other button that I said?
It was kind of like a homing attack.
And
then there was one you could like,
that's what it was.
Hold it down, and charge. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the other button, you hold it down, and he like spins himself up, and when you let go, you can zoom real fast. I am so bad at that.
You're not alone, my friend. So
my favorite thing is when I hold it down and I'm just pointing the wrong direction, and he goes, and he's like spinning up, and he goes, ready, and then I let go, and he goes like, let's go, and then I just go into a wall.
No. Oh, Eggman.
Ew. But you're totally not alone, man. I think, I don't know if you remember, it's inside like the not the train station, but it's the other part. You go up to get the bracelet.
Oh, yes.
And it's like you have to stand on one of them so you can get through that door in time before it closes. It took me at least a half an hour to get through that thing. So I'm like, just go!
Just go! Just hit the rings! Yeah, the precision that you need for some of that stuff, it's not in me anymore.
Nor is my patience. So
or yes. Holy shit. I definitely, I rage quit a couple times, like, with some of these characters. Tails, okay, so Tails, again, has... Oh, and here's the other thing. Sonic, you go through his levels, and it's like, you go through, it's classic Sonic, you go real fast, you jump on enemies, you get to the end, you fight a boss.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Tails is like, his whole thing is get through this level. It's the same level Sonic did. Do it faster. That's it. You just gotta beat Sonic. Okay, that's okay. It's an interesting mechanic, I guess, to have. Tails can fly, which is fun, which is nice with his tails. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you hold down, you jump and you hold it down, and he goes like a little helicopter, and he flies around.
Right.
So you can get to like higher places, and then he also has like a spin attack where if you hold the other button down, he just kind of like spins his little tails around. That's fine. I have nothing against Tails. It's just kind of whatever. I have nothing against Tails gameplay wise.
No.
Why is Tails a child?
I'm gonna have to say yes. I think that's what I think it is.
What's Sonic doing hanging out with Tails? Tails is clearly like under 13.
I wanna fly high. I wanna fly. I think that's what Sonic wants to do with Tails.
Sonic's like, come on, Tails. And Tails is like, hi, I'm 9 and I built a fucking airplane, I guess.
Why don't you sit on my lap, Sonic?
I was, hold on to my legs. I'll get us there. I was playing it. Becca was hanging out with me while I was playing it. And she was like, why is it sound? She was like, why does Tails sound like a child? And she was like, hang on. It sounds like a literal child. Like a child did the voiceover. And like, I'm pretty sure. I think it was. It's weird. I don't know why. Knuckles is just angry Sonic, I guess, is his kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, also, Tails is a fox who has 2 tails. And this isn't Sonic Adventure shit. This is just like regular old Sonic shit. Tails is a fox that has 2 tails. Sonic is a hedgehog, a blue hedgehog, goes super fast. Sure. Knuckles is an echidna. Those things are... Have you seen what an echidna looks like?
No, I haven't.
Oh, boy. Patrick.
Uh-oh. I'm
scared. Can you describe what you're seeing?
Duck faced porcupine. I don't. It's a Jim Henson looking thing.
Oh my god, it really does look like a Dark Crystal guy.
Dark Crystal, yeah.
It has a long, and I can't remember what an echidna is. Sometimes known as spiny anteaters, quill-covered monotremes. What? Oh my god, they're Australian and they're in New Guinea. They are not. Their diet consists of ants and termites, but they are not closely related to true anteaters or hedgehogs. Their young are called puggles. If Knuckles had a baby, it would be called Puggle. It would be a Puggle Knuckles. Fuck. Patrick. It would be a Puggle Knuckles.
Oh, ew. I don't know why. Puggle Knuckle. Okay, I'm back.
The echidna and platypus are the only living mammals that lay eggs. So that's a thing. That's a thing. Anyway, so Knuckles the echidna. Okay. Yeah, echidnas have like long noses, and they kind of look. They're a little mole-ish. Also, they've got like these big fucking digging claws, which I guess is like that was maybe the inspiration.
Right.
So Knuckles has he punches, right? I think he's like he punches and he but he also he doesn't fly, he glides. So if you're Knuckles, or you're playing as Knuckles, you jump and then like hold the button and you put your arms out Superman style. Yep. And you just go and you just glide. And the Knuckles levels, Knuckles is highly tied to the Chaos Emeralds. So the Knuckles levels are him trying to find Chaos Emeralds. So each level is you finding 3 shards of a Chaos Emerald that are hidden throughout the level. It's like a big kind of open level. And the cool thing about those levels is that you got a little meter that beeps louder and faster when you're close to a shard, which isn't annoying at all.
Yeah, no. I didn't find it annoying, Jonathan. I could
I found it charming
all day long. Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah. I'd sit there and be like, "Where the fuck is it?" And it's like, beep, 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 beep. I'm just crazily running around, and I'm like, "Is it above me?"
Right. Yeah. So, do you feel that the Paramount series Knuckles, which I don't know, have you watched?
I haven't watched it. No, I know it just came out.
I can't say I did either.
I know Idris Elba's the voice, which is an interesting choice to me.
Yeah. Well, did you ever see the Sonic movie or the first or second one?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I heard they're good. Are they good?
Yeah, I thought the first one, I saw that actually in theaters, and I didn't think it was too bad. I knew exactly what I was going into, so I was, was entertaining, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the inspiration, unless those Sonic movies are just making millions. When I saw that ad, because I have Paramount, I'm just like, do we really need a Knuckles series? Like, what brought that? But maybe because of Sonic Adventure. Who knows?
I hope it was because of Sonic. You know what it was? It was because they knew we were doing this podcast and we were going to talk about it.
And that's why we're sponsored by Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Yes. Watch Knuckles, the TV show. Paramount Plus.
Yeah, Jonathan, make sure that you call Tom.
I'll ring him up and I'll be like, "Where's my money? Where's my Knuckles money?
Year subscription."
Yeah, you get 6 months free. After that, it's double the price. But like, as far as playing as Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles go, I didn't mind it, honestly.
No, those
Sonic,
were fine.
Yeah, Sonic is the most fun. Then we get into the dregs right away. Amy is a pink hedgehog. She has a big hammer and a little floating, like a bird friend also, I think. But her, and this is crazy. Her levels are her running from a big fucking robot. And if the robot catches you, it's game over. So the entire level is you running from a robot, which is weird. And it's also like one of my least favorite game mechanics.
I would say it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
one of my least favorites for sure.
Like, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis gets a little bit of a pass because they use it in a way that's just like shocking and it's like it makes you scared.
Right.
So I'm like, that's kind of part of it. They've done it a little bit in some other Resident Evil games to a much lesser, like much worse result. They did it again. Let's talk about Resident Evil 6. That one campaign that was fuck me. Albert Wesker's son, right?
Son, yeah, and the girl.
And and Sherry
Ashley?
Birkin.
Sherry,
grown up sexy Sherry. So that's cool. Remember rescuing her as a literal child. Now you can look at her boobies if you want, because it's been that long. Sherry and Wesker's son, like one of the worst characters they've ever made in that franchise, will get hunted by their. And I remember when they were like, when the game was coming out and they were pitching it like, oh, it's like Nemesis. It's like the new Nemesis. It was so underwhelming and annoying because it was like every time it would happen, you're like, this shit again. And you're just running from him. So I did.
You beat that, right? You beat the game. I
Resident
never beat Resident Evil 6. Yeah,
I beat it one time. The first time I ever played it, I played the entire thing one time, and I tried to play it. I want to say like twice after that at different times because I was like, I should probably. I am such a Resident Evil fan. I should play this game. There's so much of it to play, and I'd start playing it. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. I hate this game.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I tried my best, but
it's truly it's really terrible.
Yeah, I just can't. I just can't do it. But I mean, I just want a Code Veronica remake, and I'll shut up after that, and we'll go back to Sonic. I'm sorry, but that's what
we could talk about. I mean, we're going to talk about Code Veronica on this show, so we're going to be talking a lot. We're going to say probably once an episode, I want a Code Veronica remake.
Thank you.
I used to joke on my old podcast, which was like just us talking. We would joke that like every single episode we would talk about Star Wars because it would just like organically happen. We would talk about Star Wars somehow. And that was before all of the new Star Wars came out. So I feel like there was, in a weird way, more to talk about. Now when I don't even think about Star Wars that much anymore because now I'm just like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like for this show, like you and me are probably going to bring up Resident Evil once per episode.
Let's make it happen. Yeah.
It's not going to be hard.
Okay.
He said with 2 shelves full of Resident Evil merchandise behind him.
It's, man, I wish I would have. I can't unless they're in Maryland. I need to go back and check, but I don't have any of my Resident Evil action figures anymore. I don't know where they went.
Did you get rid of them, or do you just not know where they are?
I just don't know where they are.
Yeah.
But when I moved to Texas, I just filled up my little hatchback, and that's all I could bring. So,
yeah.
So there's probably a lot of stuff at home. So, yeah.
But yeah, Amy runs from a robot. She's got a big hammer. I have nothing else to say about her.
Nope. That's enough for me too.
That's it.
I think that's good.
Less time spent on the other characters. Big the cat. Fucking, it's a fishing simulator.
That's it.
That's it. He's trying to catch his frog. And also he's an idiot. Like, he's just like, duh. Oh, froggy. Holy shit. It's awful. And then the robot's actually pretty fun to play as. But by the time you get to that point in the game, you're just like, make it end. Where's the ending?
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the robot, when I was playing as the robot, his whole thing is he's just got like fucking guns and missiles, and you literally go around, you just hold the button down that like auto like selects everything, and he's like just blowing everything up. And I was like, this is kind of lame, right? Is this kind of repetitive? I was actually kind of into it. I was like, this is actually pretty fun. Just going around a Sonic level and auto targeting everything and blowing it up. It's kind of satisfying. But then once you play through every character's campaign and 100% them, then you get to unlock the last playable character, which is Supersonic, and he's gold. And then you play one level, and that's the end of the game.
I never got the Supersonic. I never got the gold one.
It's very underwhelming because you only play.
Oh.
It's literally, Patrick. It's one level, and it's like the game ends with Robotnik getting all the Chaos Emeralds and winning. Basically, he like destroys the city. He straight up destroys the city because the city is like post-apocalyptic and flooded. It's full of water, and it's this big water monster. And so then with, I think, the power of friendship, I don't remember, something makes you supersonic. You turn gold, and then you basically run around this city, this flooded city, in kind of like a NASCAR circuit. I think it's just a big loop, but you're going like super fucking fast. And then you attack the big monster, and you like spin up inside him and then like blow out through his face, which is gnarly. And then you blow him up, and then you win.
Okay.
But you don't get to play the game as like Gold Sonic. You can only just do that one part as the end. It's not really worth it.
Well, did you actually play Sonic Adventure 2? Because I haven't. I just never beat it.
I honestly, you know what? I probably did play some of it, but I don't think I played a lot of it.
So I'm wondering if Gold or Supersonics in that. Of course, people who want to,
Oh, wait, I did play, because that one had Dark Sonic, right?
With the gut, was it Shadow or Dark?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Dark Sonic. I like mine better.
Yes.
Shadow, yeah. Okay, I definitely played that then, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't as good, though. So the only other thing I think I wanted to talk about gameplay-wise is the Chow Garden. Is that how you say it? Ko? Chow? I always said Chow.
I would go with Chow.
Yeah.
I think that's even how I pronounce it. I never did it, though.
You never did
it. God bless you. Please
that was going to be my question, is if you ever fucked with Did you ever fuck with Chows?
No. But yes, if you did, please tell, because I've never went into that adventure.
So Chows were these little digital pets, and so in the game there are a few different sections that you go into, and they're called Chow Gardens. And when you would go into a Chow Garden, so in Sonic games, you beat an enemy, and like in the old ones, I think when you would beat Robotnik, all these little animals would pop out of him, which I was always like, what the fuck is that? And it's like, and the story is that he takes animals and he kidnaps and enslaves little cute animals in robots, right? That's his whole thing. But Patrick is just looking at me like, I don't fucking know.
It's a great answer, man. I don't know.
Pretty sure that's what his deal is. And in Sonic Adventure, when you kill an enemy, a little tiny cute little animal in a bubble pops out that you can collect. And it's fucked up if you don't, I feel like. If you just like leave them.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Sometimes I would miss them. I'm like, no, oh shit. When you go to a Chow Garden, all the little animals that you have collected through levels would pop out of you and like populate. So you'll be like bunnies and koalas and elephants and monkeys, like all these little cute fucking little animals. And then in the Chow Garden, there were eggs. And if you took an egg and you could hold the button down and shake the stick, and Sonic would kind of like nuzzle it. He'd be like, like shake it a little bit and like rub his face against it, kind of. And if you did that enough, the egg would hatch into a Chow. Or my preferred method of hatching a Chow is if you just run with an egg and then you throw it against a wall.
Scrambled eggs, bitch.
And they would come out kind of mad, but they were fine. So these Chows were these little cute creatures. They had like a teardrop shaped head, like kind of pointed at the back, and there's like little arms and legs, and they're just like walking there. And you like pick them up and play with them. You can shake trees and drop coconuts, and then you give a coconut to them, and then they eat it, and it's all very, very cute. But the thing that you would and if you picked up one of those animals that you rescued, like a koala, you would give the koala to a Chow, and the Chow would grab it and go like, "Mah," and like a little like heart would come out of him, and then he would drop the animal, and then he would like sprout something on his body that was something from one of those animals. So you could like crossbreed animals with your Chows. So you're like, this Chow's got koala ears, and this Chow has elephant nose. I don't know. But it was crazy. This Chow looks like an penguin. And then you could take your Chow, grab your Chow, take your Chow over to this little station that looked like a VMU in the game. And you could transfer your Chow to your VMU, which if you guys have remember from last time, it's the visual memory unit. It's the memory card for the Dreamcast that has it's a tiny Game Boy, basically.
Yep.
And you would transfer your Chow to your VMU, and then your Chow turned into a fucking Tamagotchi, because then you could take your VMU out if it had a battery charge.
If it did, yes.
And you could play the little Chow mini game on the VMU, and it was like and you would like, it was like a Tamagotchi. It was like a Tamagotchi or like a Pokemon type thing. You would like feed it fruit, and you would train it, and it would get like faster and stronger and shit. And you would literally raise it, and you would have, I think you had to do this on the VMU. And then you would go back into the game, transfer your Chow out of the VMU into the game, and then you could make them compete against each other in like races and shit.
Or what, chicken fights? Or
cockfights.
Cockfights.
Like Star Trek, and just give them throw them in a pit with a couple of weapons.
This is the Rancor. Yeah.
I did the shit out of that. I have a ton of Chow. I loaded up my old save, so I have a ton of Chows in my garden. I have the special eggs that you would have to like. Sometimes you would find an egg out in the world, and you would have to take it, and there would be puzzles to figure out like, how do I get this egg out of this pit? And you'd have to like get the egg out of the pit and then run all the way back to your Chow garden, holding the egg the entire time, and take it in your Chow garden. But there's like a gold one and a silver one and a black one, I think. So there were like rare ones that you could get. And I can't remember if you could crossbreed them as well. I don't know if you could or not. I didn't get that deep into the Chow thing in my research. But anyway, yeah. So that was a crazy, weird little extra addition to the game. It was like a whole other game in itself.
I think that's, well, like as you kind of mentioned, like role playing elements, or what they wanted to do with Sonic Adventure. Like obviously kind of more of an open world hub area,
Yeah.
and then this obviously with the this part of the game, not saying it's like role playing, but it definitely does have that building up these characters, or expanding upon what these characters could be. So yeah, I could not think, as far as the games I played at the time, that I saw anything like this. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
but it also too, maybe it just intimidated me. I don't know, but I was just like, so
The child
I'm
thing?
glad you played. Yeah. So thank you for.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. I
telling
mean,
us.
I think I just had more time than you did.
Okay.
I was in high school.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's, thank you, because I didn't really understand that whole part.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. It's available. So,
And
yeah.
you can still do it. You can still do it.
Wow.
I would just have to get I'd have to replace the battery in my VMU. Which I probably should, because every time I turn the Dreamcast on, it's like, what day and time is it? I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, because I had to do that with my Sega Saturn. I just replaced it. I think it's the same battery. So, yeah, I'm going to have to
It's
get
probably
this bad boy.
it's one of those like little disc batteries, right?
Yeah, I think for like a what do you call
like
it?
a watch battery.
Watch battery.
Yeah.
So, okay, and I don't know if we want to do this. Should we have a rating on like on the game? Like,
I like that.
what, 1 out of 5? Like
Let's do 1 out of 1 out of 5 feels easier to me than 1 out of 10, because if it's 1 out of 10, I really had to start thinking really hard about it.
Right. Same here.
But now here's the question.
Yes.
Okay. Rating these games, I feel like we should rate them. We should try and rate them mentally, like we are in the time when they came out and not now. Because almost every single one of these games would be like a 1, if for no other reason than just gameplay. That's just the fact of life. But
right.
But no,
I'm totally with you. Yeah.
Okay. I have my rating in my head.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
I'm going with 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no. You know what? It's hard. I'm clouded by nostalgia.
Yes.
4 out of 5.
That's actually my score.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like 5 out of 5 I would say perfect, like at the time especially. And then there are games that I'm 100% going to say 5 out of 5. So I'm holding Sonic up against those in my mind currently. So I'm just 4 out of 5.
And I think that's a really, really, for, like you said, to put yourself back in that that time frame. I would honestly, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I think even at that time, because I loved the game. Just obviously, I did more of my time with Sonic, but I loved the game so much. I knew it had its flaws. I knew it had its frustrations, but still, at the end of the day, I was like, no, I'm very happy I purchased it rather than some games. I can tell you, when actually I think it was a lot more accepted than it is now. But I remember buying several Dreamcast games and then just returning it like this, either the same day or the next day, and going like, this game sucks. I know I opened it, but give me store credit and let me try something different. And they usually give you like the one time to do it. Like, okay, you can, and you better make it good. But yeah, this one definitely, I love seeing it on my shelf. I'm a Sonic Advantage fan, so
it's I still have it, and that I feel like that's gonna be a real, like, I think landmark of like what were our favorite games. Maybe not the best ones, because this is all subjective, but like what were our favorite games. So I still have, I think it's the copy that we bought at launch.
Same here. Yeah, this is it.
I don't think I ever rebought it. I don't think I ever rebought any Dreamcast games, because I know nice.
Yeah. That's
when
it.
When my brother Anthony moved, I don't know if he took the original Dreamcast or if I kept the original and he bought a new one. I have a Dreamcast, but I feel like it might be one that I bought, but I know we split the game collection up because some of them were mine, some of them were his, and we split them up into like which ones we wanted. So he still has some of the original ones that like we had when it came out, and then I still have some, and then ones that I bought myself. But I've never rebought anything. I would love to, but they're so expensive now. So now I'm going to get reproductions for anything that I don't have. So yeah, whatever I have that I still have from 25 years ago is chef's kiss. Mwah. All right. Yeah, Sonic, 4 out of 5 gold rings.
Bling, 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 bling.
Well,
yeah.
That covers the first game on this podcast. The first Dreamcast game. The first Dreamcast game I ever played. Probably the first Dreamcast game most people played.
Yeah.
If the numbers mean anything. So that Sonic Adventure. Join us next time. Keep listening to Casting Dreams. Where we're going to keep talking about Dreamcast games. Not every single one of them, but a lot of them. Our favorite ones and the weirdest ones and the most interesting ones. We're going to go through the whole catalog and talk about this shit. So thanks for listening. And we'll catch you next time to talk more about Dreamcast.
Sounds great. Hey, take care, guys. Thanks again.
So that's what we thought about Sonic Adventure, and we had this little extra bit where we watched a bunch of kind of gameplay and cutscenes and talked about it, and it didn't really fit anywhere well in the episode, but I didn't want to get rid of it, so I figured that would be like a fun treat for our first episode, is for you to listen to us watch Sonic. So here you go. And I just love already, like, the amount of guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was the other thing that I was thinking when I was replaying is the audio mix. The music is so fucking loud. Like,
yes.
In all these cutscenes, people will be talking, but the music is like, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
We gotta make sure we get this out.
What?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, this is the beginning with the first chaos fight.
Ew, who's this guy?
Yeah, some of these cutscenes I remember so well. Here's Tails. Here's this child flying a plane.
There goes Macaulay Culkin. Oh no!
Oh my God! Here's a child.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Tails! Get it together. Tails.
And he died.
And that's how he died. This fight was not hard.
No. Very easy.
Once I realized that all I had to do is like run around and not, get hit by missiles. It's like, okay, this is fine.
Like when you hit him, it's like,
Sonic.
I wanna fly. I wanna fly. I don't know why.
The Tails music. It's crazy.
Chaos.
Oh no!
Eggman.
Oh, please tell us. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, news to me. Oh my God. And like the sound of that water also.
Yeah.
And Knuckles just sounds like a dude. That's the weirdest thing about Knuckles. He's just like, hey, what's up? I'm Knuckles. This song also.
Yeah.
It's just oppressive. I don't dislike it, but it's oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Eggman. And he says it in a way that's like, hey, there's Dr. Eggman, who we all know is called Dr. Eggman. Another thing I was thinking of, and this is, I feel like this is a product of video games at this time, and it has since pulled back a lot. But, like, if you look at the length of cutscenes, this video is 2 hours and 18 minutes long.
Wow.
2 hours of Sonic Adventure cutscenes. And, like, I think I don't know what the statistics are. Actually, I'd be curious to know what game does have the most amount of cutscenes. It has to be Metal Gear Solid 4.
I was gonna say, if it's Hideo Kojima, he's got to be the.
There's no way it's not Metal Gear 4. I remember finishing Metal Gear 4, and I was late to work because I was playing it before work, and I finished it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll get ready. I'll watch the cutscenes while I'm getting ready." And then I sat there for, I'm not kidding, I think 1.5 hours, like watching the end of Metal Gear 4. And I'm like, when will it end? When? This is like a crazy amount of cutscenes to be in a Sonic game.
Well, I mean, you think about it too. It's like what a Dreamcast disc. I think it's 1.2 gigs.
Yeah.
It can hold. Blu-rays obviously can hold a lot more than that. So just thinking 2.5 hours or near 2.5 hours dedicated to just that. That's. I mean, granted, it's all in-game engine. It's not like it's trying to do like suit-up looking, but that's still quite impressive.
Yeah. I forgot about the flying levels where you are like in a plane and you're like dogfighting a giant airship. Here's some of Amy.
Man, can it be?
Oh
What's
God.
that? Watch it!
What?
Ow! You should
Oh yeah, I don't know what the deal with this bird is.
Hey, are you alright? You look kind of
Is that something you saved or I don't.
What's this?
And then giant robot. I honestly, I don't remember this much happening in the game.
Okay. Yeah, because some of these levels, I'm just like, Oh God. Oh.
I don't like the looks of this.
That's a character in this game. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, give me! What the fuck? And there's a Chow.
Oh yeah. Chow 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 chow.
Holy shit!
Wow.
I didn't watch this before we recorded.
No, don't go any closer.
This is blowing my mind a little bit. I must have watched all of this at some point when I played the game.
Well, if you beat it with what Gold Sonic or whatever Super Sonic, you've had to see these and.
I'm not even halfway through the amount of cutscenes.
Did you notice the presence guarding these children?
Oh, and like Knuckles' whole thing is that like he's like the keeper of the Chaos Emerald, like he's its guardian.
These little creatures are too
I
vulnerable.
don't know, man.
They just.
There is a little bit of gameplay, so it isn't just like 2 hours and 18 minutes of just cutscenes. There's a little bit of gameplay. It's mostly cutscenes. There we go. Oh, yeah, there's a nice cutscene to go along. You get to watch the city get fucking destroyed.
Oh.
And it's just all footage from the intro video.
Yeah, that's what I was like. This looks
familiar.
Kind of familiar.
But here's at least it makes the intro video make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you didn't play the ending and you saw the intro, you're like, what is any of that? But yeah, you're basically watching a city get completely destroyed by water. The death count. Like, that's a tsunami.
Yeah.
The death count alone is like 9/11 times 10.
I've had enough. Who do you think you are,
Oh
anyway?
my god, you have to sit through a lot.
Oh, it's
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
He gets all the Chaos Emeralds. They're blank for some reason.
In the Master Emerald.
And now he's fucking gold. And then the music kicks in. Honestly, at this point, I was probably just like, yeah, I get to play to this song finally.
Yeah.
The last boss is called Perfect Chaos.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Right out through his face.
And that's it?
Well, you gotta do that a couple times.
Oh, okay. I was like, hey, that's it. Wow.
But literally, this is the like, that's all you do. You just go super fast as a gold guy. And then fly through his face. A whole bunch of times. But also, while listening to this fucking badass track.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Oh, look, a bunch of those little babies. The little babies have the chows. They have some sort of purpose in the story. I don't really know what it is, but they all get together at the end with the bad guy Waterman and the magic echidna lady. And then they float off into the sky, and the fucking cat's there for some goddamn reason.
Wait, what's he wearing?
Oh, like each character had like a power-up, like special thing that they got. So like Sonic had that bracelet. Oh. Knuckles has like better knuckles. Tails has like a talisman that he wears. And that's the end. That's the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah. That song, you know what? That song fucking rocks. I love that song.
I think it's gonna have to. Maybe I'll just have that on my my phone while I work tomorrow. Yeah, I'll just have to just start listening to it.
It's not good. It's not a good song. Like the lyrics are nonsensical and it's very stupid. But I do love it.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I was listening to it when you joined this Zoom, and I'm gonna 100% listen to it when I'm heating up dinner.
Dude, I mean, you got to open up your heart while you're cooking.
Open your heart.
Yeah,
open your heart, and you will see. I don't remember if that was.
Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah. And got something's really Sonic.
It's gonna be delicious
dinner.